Welcome to the 8th day celebrations of Chitrai Peruvila in Kailasa, Madurai. We are waiting the darshan of the deities of the Panchamurti. Somasundareshwara Swami, Devi Meenakshi, Ganapati, Subramanya Swami and Chandikeshwara will be gracing us today in this morning procession. Beautifully, we are having a inside the temple look. Right now we're looking at the Ashtashakti Mandapam that is there right before Amman Sannidhi Street. Here we are waiting with all the traditional items of Mandagapadi. The traditional fruits and flower garlands and the new vastras offered, wearing the traditional dresses, ornamenting ourselves with the Turumula Vargavedam, dressing ourselves as Paramashiva, ready to receive Paramashiva. Paramashiva is most pleased when we declare our oneness with him, when we wear Rudraksha, Bhasma and all the Tirumula Vargavedam. He is most pleased. This is the best way to present ourselves before Paramashiva, as it is an open declaration of our love and devotion to him and our desire to be merged with him in oneness with Paramashiva. We are now going to have the darshan of Meenakshi Sundareshwara here in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam. We are going to enact the Leela of how Paramashiva as Nataraja came back from liberating the Tarukavana rishis. Paramashiva came back looking as a mendicant in his description. The Tarukavana story, when the Tarukavana rishis had an ego, thinking that their lifestyle of doing rituals can manifest anything they want, and they don't need to have or depend on Paramashiva at all in their life, got onto their heads, and they spread such poison to themselves and their whole families, taking literally Paramashiva out of the whole equation. Through rituals, they believe that everything can manifest that we want. There is no need for Paramashiva. Somebody has to hold. Apasmasura, then Paramashiva, Apasmasura becomes the devotee of Paramashiva, and immediately Paramashiva stands above him. Each of the missiles sent by the rishis is continuously surrendering to Paramashiva in devotion to Paramashiva, becoming a part of his angas. Literally, it is the experience of becoming one with Paramashiva. That is what he does. The miracle of Paramashiva in your life is that you realize you are in oneness with him. After sending all of these missiles, the rishis surrender. They had forgotten the context. They forgotten the truth that Paramashiva is there and they are Paramashiva. There is nothing else to seek. There is no other need for anything. They surrender to Paramashiva all of their ego, and Paramashiva gives them the enlightenment. We are now going to see the events that happened immediately after this Leela, the Tarakavana Rishi liberation. How Nataraja Paramashiva comes back to Kailasa and how Shivagama Sundari reacts to him. One of the Nalvar, Sundaramurti Nayanar, who is just like Paramashiva in the way he dresses, in the way he appears to all of them. One of the greatest devotees of Paramashiva, whose story as a Nayanmar is repeated again and again on how Paramashiva would come to his rescue every time Sundaramurti Nayanar was in any difficult situation or was not able to manifest what he wanted in his life. The way that Paramashiva manifests in his life and makes all of that he wants happen is one of the most beautiful stories of Shiva Bhakti in all of the world. This way, we will see now the Leela of Sundaramurti Nayanar coming with Nataraja Paramashiva from the Tarakavana. Nithyanandam. We're now going to witness the Leela that is enacted in the Madurai temple every year on the 8th day of Chaitra Perivila. Now we can see in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Pita Sarvagnya Pita that Sundaramurti Nayanar and Nataraja Swami have come to the entrance of Kailasa, and Shivagama Sundari is waiting for her Lord eagerly to see him after he has been gone for many days. They come forward. Nataraja comes to the entrance of Kailasa after coming from the Tarakavana, after the heavy battle with the rishis. He looks very abnormal to Devi. After seeing Nataraja, Paramashiva, Devi turns away, feeling upset. Devi turned away, not wanting to look at Paramashiva and being very upset. Paramashiva continues into Kailasa. Along with Sundaramurti Nayanmar. Unable to understand the situation, Sundaramurti Nayanar goes to Devi Shivagami and asks Shivagama Devi, "What, Devi? What is wrong? How come you are upset here today when Paramashiva has come back from the Tarakavana? How come you're in an angry mood towards Paramashiva. Devi tells him, "It is just that I was feeling very frightened the way he looked. He was wearing the tiger cloth covered with ashes. There is a scorpion in his ear, like an earring he's wearing. All these are very frightening things. I am just a little upset because he's not come how he is usually, with peace. He looks different." Sundaramurti Nayanar understands Devi's feelings, and he goes to Paramashiva again to explain how Devi is feeling. He explains to Paramashiva what is Devi's dispassion, and Paramashiva tells him that he had to go and liberate the Tarakavana rishis because of their delusion and the poison that they are spreading, that rituals and rites are enough for someone to have everything they want, that the ultimate enlightenment, Paramashiva, is not required to have liberation. I had to go and liberate them from this delusion, so I had to put them further into delusion and trigger their patterns that made them angry with me. They sent all the missiles, the Damaru, Agni, Tiger, all of these missiles were sent towards me, and by seeing me and coming into my presence, they melted in devotion and just wanted to become part of me. Hence the snakes that you see ornamenting me, the Damaru and Agni that you see me holding, the tiger skin I am having, they all became devoted to me. Though they are ferocious in nature, they are all my devotees. Tell this to Devi. Let her understand that she can come back and be with me." Sundaramurti understands and goes to Devi Shivagami and explains the story of the Tarakavana and what happened there. Devi, remembering her own experience of how she became in oneness with Paramashiva and celebrating that Paramashiva went to give that possibility to the Tavarakavana rishis and the rishi patnis and all of humanity, happy to see that Paramashiva is what she always thought and the one who gave her his very own half, the one who gave her enlightenment itself. She is pleased, happy, and decides she wants to go join Paramashiva and listens to him and goes to his side again. Shivagama Devi comes to Paramashiva, pays her respects and does namaskaram and takes her yadhasthanam right next to him. We'll now offer our Sakshat Dandavat Pranams to Paramashiva and this beautiful Leela.
व्योम व्योमाय विद्महे सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्माय धीमहि तन्नः सूक्ष्म प्रचोदयात्। व्योम व्योमाय विद्महे सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्माय धीमहि तन्नः सूक्ष्म प्रचोदयात्। व्योम व्योमाय विद्महे सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्माय धीमहि तन्नः सूक्ष्म प्रचोदयात्। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव नटराज स्वामिने नमः। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति शिवकाम सुंदरी देव्यै नमः। श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि रक्षान्धारयामि।
Here in Kailasa, Madurai, we are now witnessing the Panchamurti procession begin. Just now we had the darshan of Mahaganapati. There was a kind land dispute between in the temple, among the temple community. There was a small dispute between the Shivacharyas and the dispute is taken to Paramashiva. The land dispute about which land is allocated to the priests and which land is allocated to the temple builders is taken to Paramashiva because they are not able to solve it among themselves. Once they come to Paramashiva, Paramashiva gives the context to them and tells them the reality of the situation. Here in Kailasa, Madurai, we can see the devotees are offering Mandagapadi. Kailasa in Madurai We are offering the Mandagappadi to the deities of the Panchamurti, the traditional flower garlands, and all the items are being offered. To Mahaganapati, Subramanya Swami, Kailasa, Madurai. Taking this land dispute to Paramashiva. Paramashiva gives them the right context that there is no two, there is no one or the other. It is all Paramashiva alone. They give the context that he gives the context that all of the land actually ultimately only belongs to him. And he is the one who decides the allocation of land, whose land belongs to the priests and which land belongs to the others of the communities and all of the devotees. In Kailasa, Madurai, Mandagappadi is offered to the deity of Subramanya Swami. We offer our prayers and devotion at his feet. Meenakshi and Somasundareshwara are now giving their darshan. They have just exited the Ashtalakshmi Mandapam. They grace today on the golden palanquin, the Tanga. In Madurai, Sokkanada, Somasundareshwara is gracing. Devi Meenakshi is grazing in the palanquin, the golden palanquin. Having her darshan is having the darshan of the Nijavatar of Meenakshi herself. In Adi Kailasa, the enactment continues. All the temple community understands that ultimately the land is Paramashiva's and he will only allocate the land to them. They all surrender to him in Namaskaram and request Paramashiva for the prize Chitta. Paramashiva takes a sweet bamboo stem and just taps it, beats it on the backs of the devotees, telling them, understand who you are, understand we are in oneness. The banana stem in Kailasa, Madurai, Sokkanada is gracing before our gates, and we're giving to him the traditional Nutana Vastram, the flower garlands, and all of the 16 offerings in the Mandagappadi. We are seeing that we are now receiving from him his blessings in the form of prasadam. We are offering now the Deeparadhana to Sokkanada Sundareshwara Swami. Meenakshi Devi in Madurai is arriving at the gates of Kailasa, Madurai. The darshan of Meenakshi is described in the Lalita Sahasranama as the brilliance of thousands of rising suns. Let us come to the receptive space of devotion and deep reverence, so she grants us the same darshan as she is described. We are offering now in Kailasa Madurai the Nutana Vastra, the new Vastrams to Devi Meenakshi, our love and devotion at her feet. All the traditional items of the Managappadi, the lotus garlands, the various flower garlands made of jasmine are offered to her. We offer to her our heartfelt devotion in the Deeparadhana. Following Devi Meenakshi, the chief accountant of Kailasa, Chandikeshwara, comes and we offer to him our Managappadi and flower garlands and surrender our integrity in our accounts and maintaining the record books.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव समारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति मध्यमाम् नित्यानन्दपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रे निटिलकृतकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः दधारो दुस्तारं शिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते।